The person I was in my 20s and now has definitely changed. And I think I've had to update that definition. It's hard to appreciate a season that you're in if you don't know the opportunity cost.
The way I was raised to think I was so damn beautiful, another person in the same household was raised to believe she wasn't that fine. So when I walk into a room,
There's that
zero
confidence.
makeup, just gloves.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm the finest.
What's one part of yourself that you've lost with aging that you've grieved over?
Hi, welcome back to the podcast, and we're so excited to have you again this episode. So, Simone, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to be talking about aging
Interesting.
and building self-worth, especially in a world where beauty standards are a thing. So today, I kind of wanted us to think a little bit about beauty as a form of currency and what that happens when it depreciates over time. When was the first time that you felt like, oh man, I'm getting old? Either like physically, professionally, at your job. Like when you feel like, I'm getting old.
The first time for me was when I just had my baby. I feel like I don't know what was happening with my body chemistry and my hormones, but immediately I had my baby. A week after, I noticed I had gray hair. And that was the first time. I'm like, oh, I'm old, because I've always been told I look younger than my age throughout my life. And now I felt like, oh, that's gone. I'm old.
What was the emotion in that moment? Was it like, okay, like this is getting real? Or like, what was the emotion in that moment? Was it sad? Was it happy?
It was both. It was both. I think it was mostly positive for me.
Okay.
And that's because I have always been told I look younger, which is supposed to be a good thing. But I didn't like it growing up where people tell my younger sister to hold me, or my friends that are younger than me, when we're at the bus stop, they say, I hold your baby sister. That thing used to annoy me. And Lagosians were rude.
Yeah.
You know, so I never liked that. So I'm like, at least with this gray hair, people know that. So that was positive. And also, but it was also, there was this, like, something was dawning on me that I'm getting old, like I'm entering a different phase of life. But I don't feel old at all. It's like, but when I see my gray hair, I'm like,
okay, it's a reminder.
Yeah, it's a reminder.
It's a reminder. Yeah. I think for me, especially recently, my mom sent me a picture of myself. I don't remember, maybe I was doing my PhD or something like that.
Oh, and it's pretty recent. 7 years ago?
Maybe 7 years ago. And when I looked at the picture, and I was like, whoa.
Wow.
And she even put it there. You were a baby in this picture. Like, no.
There was a babe.
I know. And so for me, when I saw the picture, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Life has happened. Times have passed. I've gotten older. And it really kind of got me thinking of like how I reconcile that feeling of getting old with like being comfortable in the new phase that I'm in.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you have a fear about getting old, about aging? And if you do, like what is it?
Fear about aging. I think I have a bit of pretty privilege.
Okay, tell me more.
No, but we can come back to that. But do I have fears about aging? I don't have fears about my looks. I'm maybe a little too comfortable.
That's good.
About the way I look. And I think a lot of that, just blame my sisters. I grew up we were 6 girls, and they would do these competitions about the finest. We would like Miss Nigeria.
Wow.
And I was always the winner. So they put it in my brain that I was finer than average, which may not be fact.
But I mean,
like they will always put it there that Doyin's the winner, you are second, and then they will even give last. Which is a real thing that I'm paying attention to now that I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Like the way I was raised to think I was so damn beautiful, another person in the same household was raised to believe she wasn't that fine.
Yes.
You know, and I see the difference.
And how it carries with time.
Till now, we're both in our 30s, and I see the difference, you know. So I pay attention to some of those things. But anyway, I've always had that. So when I walk into a room, zero makeup, zero, just with gloves. I'm like, I'm the finest.
Yeah.
You can't tell me
say
anything.
less.
So till now, I still don't like makeup. And sometimes one of my sisters will say, well, you're pretty and you know it. Well, you can get away with no makeup, right? So I don't have fear of aging. I do have, in terms of looks. Okay. I have fear of aging in terms of my body.
Okay. Like, how do you mean? The ability to do stuff?
To do stuff.
Okay.
That it's a real fear for me. So right now, I want to travel.
Yeah.
Everywhere I want to go now.
No, because you can still get there.
Yes, I have that fear that maybe my knees will start hurting, my leg will, my back. Like, yes, I have fear of that kind of aging. What about you?
I think for me it's along two dimensions. One is about like the ability to do stuff, and to be honest with you, I think for me the biggest thing is my mind. I feel like that's been such a huge part of my life. Like you mentioned, even like growing up, I've engaged my mind a lot. Like my parents would like, oh, you're very smart, etc. etc. And a part of me is like, what if I don't have that anymore? Like,
I can't even remember where you put it.
Exactly. And so that's,
or your cup.
That's the part that makes me uncomfortable or concerned. In terms of looks, I actually think that I'm not so bothered by it. Not necessarily because anybody told me that I was beautiful or anything, but I think that there's a new, like I see some other people, even with like gray hair, the way they look, the way they're, and I'm like, it's giving.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not giving struggle at all. It's giving some kind of like smooth depth. And so I'm like, I'm not particularly worried about the looks, but the other part, which is around like losing relevance.
Which, like professionally,
and
how you show up in this world,
And so that's a part where I'm not sure I have a good answer, to be honest with you. But like, how do you reconcile? Like, because life, I feel like is like turn by turn. You can't always be at the cutting edge of everything. Yeah. But then what happens when you get to a point where you're no longer in that space, and like how you? So that's the thing that I'm scared about.
Yeah, professionally for me, I'm already preparing myself to not be relevant. I'm okay. Why?
How?
I don't care. Like, why do I want to be relevant? It's good to be relevant, but I'm not bothered about it. Like, I'm already preparing myself. Like, there'll be a time people will tell me I'm too old for the role. Or of course, you can't relate because you're not Gen Z or you're not Gen whatever next, right? Yeah. So for me, it's just like, oh, that's good. Maybe I should travel.
Is it good to travel? That's your
like there's mechanism. So much to see in this world. You cannot stress me. So for me, professionally, I'm already preparing myself that I have this short. I don't believe in long and successful careers. I believe in short and successful careers for myself. Success for me is how short that career can be, and I'm good financially, and it's impactful. So I'm already sort of preparing myself professionally for that world.
Okay, then that's really good. So when you say prepare yourself professionally for that, it means like, okay, when you're in the career, get as much as you can get from it, get as much money as you can get from it, and then be in a season where you're traveling after that.
Be in a season where I can choose to work, and if you don't want to employ me, fine, I'll travel. I can do projects. So like you said, the way I'm preparing myself is going hard right now. My ambition is now. I can't promise you after the next 5 years. Even 5 years from now, I don't know. So that's the way I'm preparing. Like whatever money I can make now, I need to be the best to what I can be, of whatever resources I have right now. Because very soon, you just hear your friend has resigned.
I've done my part.
I've done my own, and I also want impactful work. I'm fighting for impactful work right now, pushing myself. And that for me is, okay, I need to build something up, not for when I'm 60. Soon.
Yeah, sooner than later.
Yeah, because anything can happen, right? And I kind of realized this, like some of the colleagues I work with, a lot of them are Gen Zs.
Yes.
Like, wait, these were the people we're calling babies. But they're calling the shots. Not calling the shots, but like they're contributing.
They're contributing meaningfully.
Very soon it will be my daughter.
Yes.
Saying, please find attached. And I understand. That means my time is...
talking about that, very funny. I was working on a project with some colleagues and some Gen Zs. And just the terminology. My colleague and I were like, we were even struggling to keep up with the terminology, which I was like, okay, that's another thing. But I think that for me, one thing I'm really appreciating is that in our generation, there's a notion of like multiple wins of careers. Like with our parents' generation, when you start work, you work till retirement. And then after that, you just fold your hands.
Now we have portfolio careers.
Exactly. And I'm really liking that shift
I love it.
because it almost means that you can redefine yourself in the new season. So versus like, oh, this is a terminal process. Like you just go one way into the tunnel.
And once you lose that job,
it's done.
No.
So I think that's been one part that has been comforting to me. And also along the same lines, like has been getting me thinking of like, what does that next win look like?
Yeah.
How do I maximize the current space that I'm in?
Yeah.
And how do I prepare for that next win?
For sure. Yeah. I'll be somewhere in Portugal for enjoying myself and working from, but for sure.
Okay, we talked about this a little bit, which was what part of yourself you're most afraid of losing as you age. And you talk about like mobility and whatnot. Yeah. Is there any other dimension?
Mobility for sure. My mind. I've always taken a lot of pride in my ability to think strategically. Wisdom is something that I think I have, but I always strive to get more of. And getting to a point where maybe I can't read as much.
Yeah.
Or I can't structure my thoughts in the way that I want to. Scares me a bit. Like, who am I then?
Yeah.
Without the structured thoughts or the, like, who am I empty? I don't even know who that person is.
Who does that person look like?
Yeah. So potentially losing my mind in like different things that relate to either mental health or like, different kinds of mental health issues scare me a lot.
Yeah, me too. That for me is like...
And I think I have the tendency, so it scares me even more.
Yes. And I think it's almost like a chicken and egg problem. Yeah. Like, because it scares you more, like, it actually causes you to... Yeah, I know what you mean about that.
So that scares me too.
One thing I wanted to... Let's look back a little bit and say that what's one version or what's one part of yourself that you've lost with aging that you've grieved over?
That I've grieved over. When maybe two things. My gray hair, I don't think I've grieved it. Like there are days where I look at myself and I'm like, do I want to color it black or do I want to leave it? Yeah, so I don't, for me, gray hair, 90% of the time I love it. 10% of the time I'm like, let me see what it will look like as black. But I've never dyed my hair black, but I think about it 10% of the time.
And it doesn't only have to be physical. It could be a part, it doesn't have to be a physical, like a physical dimension. It could also be like another dimension. For example, for me, I feel like there was a degree of like freedom.
Okay. But that's not aging, right?
It is part of aging. It's pretty like getting old, getting more mature, more responsible, more responsibilities.
Okay. If it's that one. Because I didn't think of that as like aging.
Okay.
But yes.
Or maybe
getting older, having more responsibility. I've not finished grieving that one. I'm still grieving. No, there are days I think I deeply miss being 24. Like I just want to be 24 again, like no husband, no kid.
Even when there was no money.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. The money wasn't much.
Yes.
But it felt like you had enough to start feeling at least I'm a big guest.
Oh yeah.
I can do one or two things. That age between you don't have so much money.
Yeah.
But you also don't have that
responsibilities.
Yeah. Like I was living in Lagos, my mom was there when I'm too hungry, I'll go home.
Yes.
So I just miss that bit a bit. And I think a lot of that may be the weight of decisions I'm having to make now.
Yes. Oh, that's
I'm just like, I'd rather not be making any. I don't want to, my decisions have consequences now on myself, on other people, right? Like I don't want to be deciding too much, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not done grieving that part.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I wake up, like back then, you could wake up and just kind of go with the flow. Now you have to make a plan before you go to bed. You have to have a plan. What am I doing tomorrow? And you cannot even afford to say that when you wake up, let me go back to bed for 30 minutes. Because if you try it, then down the line is like derailed. Like you have drop-offs, you have to do.
Exactly.
So for me, I miss that part, to be honest, of there's that freedom. And I think with that freedom, there's a lightness to it. I can feel like there's a weight of this, like there's a weight of decision. And it just kind of stays with you.
All right. I don't want to be deciding. I just want to move through life easily. Yes.
Do you feel like you could have appreciated it better? Do you feel like at 24, one has the capacity to appreciate that season.
Yes, but I think it's just like human nature. We're always looking for the next thing. I live my life. I've always lived my life for the next thing.
Okay.
Even to sleep, I'm like, oh, when I finish this, then I can sleep.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like the grass always feels greener, when we achieve that next thing and next thing. But now I'm learning, I'm appreciating this season. It's like, as I just calm down sometimes, sit and just enjoy this season, because I know before you know it, the season is over as well. You're, dealing with a different set of like decisions and issues. Yeah. But yes, if you can, like if you're watching and you're younger, like appreciate those years you're single, you have maybe small money, but like, yes. Yeah. Like every season comes with its own issues.
I actually disagree on the capacity to appreciate it, because I feel like it's hard to appreciate a season that you're in if you don't know the opportunity cost, like the cost of like not being in that season. Like,
what do you mean?
In the sense that at 24, you don't know what it feels like to be at, 40 or 35. So it's hard to be like, oh man, I'm going to really just like soak this up, and because you don't know what that weight or the pressure.
Yeah, that's why I said like we're always looking forward to that next thing we've not experienced. You see, the way maybe someone is in their 30s, like sometimes I chat with friends and she's like, I hate that I don't have a boyfriend. Someone is
now, wow.
Like, go and enjoy yourself. Like you have money, like you are working at a big tech company, and you're in your 30s, you don't have kids, you don't have a husband, you can decide tomorrow, let me quickly spend the time in Portugal or in Spain, like for a weekend, something, like just enjoy it. But yes, I agree with you, like it's hard to kind of say, I'm just going to enjoy this season. Our brains want to look forward to the next thing. Yeah. But now that I've seen that happen over and over and over, I know that yourself. I'm now retraining that brain to enjoy now.
Yeah. So we talk about like what you've grieved, but what do you feel like you've grown into, like with the time, with aging? Let's say you're 24-year-old so versus like now. And I'm not necessarily talking about like financial, but who do you think you've come into, if I may ask? What would you say you've grown and appreciated? With one part that you say, oh, I'm really happy that with age I've gotten this thing. I would not have gotten it without age.
Wisdom.
Okay.
Yes, there's so like now I'm like, yes, I don't agree with my mom 99% of the time, but now I'm like, all those things they said, it's making sense.
Like what?
Or sometimes now when I read the Bible, even though I'm like, I don't agree with these things, but just follow. There's a reason.
You get why?
You get why? Like, so there's a kind of wisdom that comes with experience. Like when some people are making certain moves, you are like, you can't do it. You're already like, you can't end it. I may not tell them.
Yeah,
so there's that wisdom that comes with experience and growing and aging. So I'm appreciating that a lot more. As an example, random example, when your parents say they want you to be doctors. Now I understand why.
Yeah, you get why.
No, you get why. Bro, it's not what we're saying now. I want to pursue my passion. There's a reason that your daddy said
first be a doctor.
It's because they want you to put food on your table. There's a reason you always have food. You want to be a content creator, you will do that too. Yeah. But just, so that's...
And do it with peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Knowing any day this content thing doesn't work, I'll just go and look for one hospital. In fact,
and it's not the end of the day.
Like, so there's some of those things where I'm getting a bit more perspective. So there's that. The other thing that I feel like I have gained with growing is confidence.
Yeah,
I'm losing the F's I can give.
They filters.
Like, it's reducing. By the time I'm 70, you people can't stand me. Like I'm losing how many F's I have left. So, there's that. Like there's a lot of confidence in myself, in my ability. Like I'm not being swayed by the wind or by anything.
So by expectations,
by
also,
expectations, like there's a bit more, confidence.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. I agree with you on the confidence part. I feel like at maybe 24, I was very susceptible to what people thought. Like people's opinions just really weighed a bit more than like now. And for me, it's not that I discard your opinions. Like it's okay to have your opinion, but I might just not account for it that much.
You have a sieve, you're weighing it, you're checking.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe like you said, by 70 at that point, if you give anyhow, we see it.
Yeah, so
the other thing I was gonna ask is, let's say your body never changed. Like we could freeze you like this till 70. What are some areas that you feel like you still need to work on internally?
Internally, not a physical.
Yeah, let's say I could freeze you like this.
Because if it's physical, I want to increase my height. I've told you.
It's not possible. Let's just move on from that one. Let's move on from that one.
Things I need to work on.
Internal. Then you feel that it's only with aging that the benefit of working on those things will come.
Maybe giving a bit more grace. Right? Giving a bit more grace.
That's a good one.
But I'm not ready to be.
But you still want to be petty.
Ready yet, but I think that's one area. Understanding that sometimes I get angry, like, why can't this person see this black and white thing? Or like, why are they just not making high quality decisions? But I can give them some grace, like people are at different levels, and kind of some of that wisdom comes with time when they've made multiple mistakes. But so giving a bit of grace, I feel like I'll get there, but I'm not ready. I don't want to give.
You still want to be petty. That actually also resonates with me from a point of view of like being married. I feel like maybe when I was first married, there were just some things I used to sweat a lot.
Yeah.
And now in my mind, I'm like, we're not going anywhere. There's no reason for it to be that worked up about
that.
It
Is so true. I used to find it difficult to look away. I will argue it out all night.
And it's not even something important.
No. Now I'm just like, if I start this quarrel now, it may not end.
To be better.
So let me go and sleep. Like this meeting at 7. Let me wait. And by the time I wake up tomorrow, it's I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Okay. For me, the thing that I think I'd want to work on internally is just being comfortable with the actual process of aging. I've noticed that, let's say, for example, my back hurts or something that I feel like was fine in my 20s is now no longer fine. I'm like, God, what's happening here?
The random things.
Exactly. And I think that can be a bit stressful for me. But I'm trying to learn how to be like, okay, this is part of the process. I mean, obviously, if it's something that's like really serious. Sure. And also, I think there are other ways of mitigating it, like strength training, etc. But just understanding that things just don't flow the way they used to flow before. And there's a degree of discomfort with it. And just understand like, okay, this is the new season. So I am hoping that with time and like with practice, I'll be more comfortable with it. The only thing is that you're also continually aging. So things are also changing. In real time.
Fast.
The other thing I'm going to ask you then is, do you think you've updated who you are, your definition of yourself relative to your 20s?
Yes, I've updated it.
Okay. How did you define yourself then, and how do you define yourself now?
I think fundamentally, I've always been the same person in terms of how I see myself.
Okay.
But now there's a lot more ownership
of your decisions or
my personality.
Okay.
As an example, I don't think I'm blunt, but I tend to want to say what I think in the way that I think. Okay. I'm blunt, whatever.
You don't want to sugarcoat.
I don't want to sugarcoat. Right. So in my dealings with people, my siblings, my friends, my mom, you know what to expect with me at some point, and I deliver.
You remind me of my aunt a little bit. In that realm.
Yeah. So I find it very hard. I had to teach myself how to not be blunt at work.
Oh,
sometimes it still, when my manager says, does this make sense? I say no.
No, I'm very blunt.
Yeah. Like I say no because it doesn't make sense. But now I pause first. Yeah. So when I was in my 20s, I struggled with that. I was blunt, and I was always blunt, but people always reacted to it and made it seem like a bad thing. And that sometimes impacted me. I didn't want to talk. Because when I talk, that
I'll just say
so I shut up a lot. Now I'm like, this is part of the full picture of who I am. I'm kind, I'm sweet, but I'm also blunt. I don't have to be all shiny and positive. There's all of these. I'm a combination of things, and there's just a lot more acceptance now. Part of the package is that you are marrying a blunt wife who is sweet, who is kind, who will give, but she's blunt.
At the same time, be ready to connect.
So I think there are times I kind of practice how can I deliver this kind, but I'll still say the truth of what I think. So now there's a lot more acceptance that maybe this is just my personality, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Provided you're not hurting people or trying to deliberately hurt people.
I think for me, the person I was in my 20s and now has definitely changed, and I think I've had to update that definition because I think I assumed that I was still that person, but now I think I'm in a phase where I'm just more confident in who I am. I think sometimes having wins just gives you confidence. So for example, I remember when we first had our daughter and working at that point, it was like what's going on here? I was still in like the in-between phase. I don't know how to explain it. Like one foot was still in like this 20s person, another person, the other foot was like coming into this, and I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I almost feel like but I think now I've had to like sit with myself, okay, we've done this for a couple of years now. These are some wins, and this is the person that I might not be where I want to be, but like this is where I'm at in this season. Now. Just being like, okay, I accept that, and I'm okay with it.
Okay. That makes sense.
What did your 20s give you that you feel that your 30s is now taking back?
Simone's questions are tough.
Okay. Maybe the way I'll ask it is there anything from your 20s that you really attached your identity to or your self-worth to that you feel that you are either having to let go of now? And I can give you an example.
Give me, but I have an example.
Okay, I mean, go ahead.
I always had this pressure to be successful because I feel like I've been given a lot
of privileges.
A lot of privileges. Both naturally, like I can read for long, just things that were natural to me that I saw a lot of people struggled with. So I've been given a lot naturally, and also the sacrifices like my mom made, especially when my dad died, and to get me to, like I tell people, I've never gone to a school my mom could afford. Like I saw the pain, the selling of the car, the selling of this
to be able to meet
to be able to go to the places I went to. So I've always had this pressure to be successful. I don't think much like in terms of what I'm going to do with the money. Let me first have it. Then we'll solve the next problem of like what to do with it. So now I'm like, that's different for me. I I know why I want to be successful for myself, and I also know at some point I may blow everything and say, thank you. I've done my part. I'm tired of making anybody proud. Let another person make the family proud.
That's actually a really good answer, to be honest with you. I think a lot of Africans would identify with that.
Yes.
The only thing that their mind is school, your grades. There are other people that are passing. Do they have two heads?
Yes.
And that pressure of like, oh man, I cannot let them down.
And you are doing well.
Yes.
With those grades. You now say what? You don't like you want to be a photographer.
Have you finished
medical school?
Have you finished lifting the whole family up?
Exactly. So and that means a lot to me because now I'm realizing like, I mean, parents should care for kids, but going the extra mile, like some parents that went through crazy immigration just so that child can be a citizen and have certain opportunities. I don't take it for granted.
I mean, that's a whole other topic right there in terms of like entitlement and expectations between like parents
we should talk about it.
Yeah.
But I don't take those things for granted. But I'm nearing the age or the point where I'm like,
at this point in time, I've done my.
Let another person make us all proud.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay. So my final question is, can you tell me one thing that you're really looking forward to or really excited about going forward in like maybe 10 years that you feel like only going forward can provide that for you, or aging can provide that for you? That's one. And what's one thing that you want to unlearn in the process?
Unlearn.
Yes, unlearn. We're going to use that term here today.
What I want to unlearn? Maybe you start.
Okay.
What's something you want to unlearn? And the first question about like something only going forward and aging can give you.
I think, yes, now I have experience, I have hindsight, but there's just something about like experience that is hard to know unless you experience it. So I'm kind of excited to, at that point in time, be able to speak with even more vim and authority. Like that, I mean, that's saying like, only what elders can see sitting down.
You want to lean?
I want to fully pour myself into it.
Like what I'm seeing from here.
What I'm seeing from here. If you see that tree,
yeah, you fall down.
You cannot even perceive it. So, but I want to like benefit from that, like experience. And one thing I want to unlearn is potentially just being the notion that aging is a bad thing. The notion that you don't have value to add as you get older. The notion that it's just like downhill. And so like I want to be able to separate the value process from the aging process. Like even if I'm like, and to be honest with you, one way I've been learning is also from my mom. My mom is a lot older. She's retired, but I can 100% tell you that the value that she adds in our life. I don't know. Yeah. So I that's one thing I want to really challenge myself to do, is like my value is not necessarily tied with age, and I shouldn't feel the need that everything has to be done now or done completely and I don't have a chance to do it later.
Yeah, no, and it's good to kind of see that example, like have an example and see how someone is aging and aging well and defining things. For me, what do I want to unlearn? It's not related to aging. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what I want to unlearn for the next maybe 10 years is some of the biases I have about friendships.
Okay.
I'm really seeing that like people build a lot of wealth, but joy, but community through their friendships. And I have always had some biases about like partnerships with your friends don't go well. They will, like I want to lean into partnering with my friends. But I'm trying to unlearn some of the biases, like don't like even around money, even around wealth, like lean in.
Yeah.
Those your friends are your savior.
Yeah. Lean in.
Like really lean in and do big things with my friends, not just gist, but do big things. Do things with my friends. So I'm really happy we're doing the podcast together. So that's one. And I thought about it for years. Okay. I'm telling you.
Doing a podcast with me?
Yeah, a podcast, a business, anything. I'm just like, well, our friends.
No.
I'm telling you. So now I want to unlearn that.
Okay.
Then on going forward, something I'm really looking forward to, like with aging, is owning my stuff a bit more.
Yeah, owning your process.
Yes, a bit more.
Yeah.
Like if I'm realizing how much autonomy I have, how much I can call the shots. I've always been calling the shots on my life, but I want to lean into it even more.
Yeah.
So that's something I feel like will come with like growing older and just, learning. And at some point you're like, I'm calling the shots on this one.
Yeah. And to be fair, in terms of like calling the shots, that's something that, again, separate episode, we can discuss of like how raising a child actually teaches them to know that they have autonomy and agency over their lives.
Yes.
I feel like the way we potentially grew up, like for example, I see like a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, they'll be feeding their child.
Yes.
Or a 7-year-old, they'll be feeding their child. When the child can potentially do it themselves. And so just robbing them of the experience that, if you feel hungry, you should eat.
Yeah, but that's a whole different episode. I'm excited for us to talk about that. But let's wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap up.
Well, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Please drop comments, like ask us questions about aging and how you're navigating aging. We actually want to hear from our older friends. If you're in your 40s, 50s, and you think there's some perspective that would be great for younger folks to have, we'd love to hear from you. So tell us how you're navigating aging, growing older, getting wiser, smarter, prettier.
Yes.
But thank you for watching the episode. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys next time.